Hey my people, how you doing? I hope you're having a damn good day. We are here with the Blackburn Rovers career mode, of course. Blackburn, great team, huge team in fact. They've won the Premier League, but they have been rotting away in the Championship for the last 10 plus years, relegated in 2012. So I thought it would be a great idea, a great journey really, to try and get them back into the Premier League, try and get them back into the European heights that they were once at. Of course, huge team in the 90s, kind of fell away due to bad investment, lack of finances and everything. But let's see what we can do. We've got some big players in this team and I think we can make something really, really special happen here. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below and subscribe if you're new.
A warm welcome to you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
And so it begins. We begin our Blackburn Rovers career mode, looking at the youth, and Frederick White, of course, is going to be our little superstar coming from the youth side. He's going to help us try and gain promotion. Of course, that is a board expectation. Of course, with that board expectation, we've got to do a few other things, such as make sure that we have a few youngsters in the team and achieve promotion. So Frederick White's going to go a long way into helping us do that, helping us achieve our ultimate goals, and I think we can. Just looking at our team, though, it is a very solid one nonetheless. I do have my eye on one or two signings that could help this team, but I think it's more or less set for this season. I will be getting rid of a few of the players that are on loan. Of course, I'm trying to make it a very realistic squad. So there are a few players that are new to the side, but there will be those few loanees that go back to their respective clubs, as I'm trying to mimic the real life squad and go from there. So we do have a few new players like Smodix. Of course, he signed from Peterborough for I think like 3 million, so I added him into the team, and so on. So I am very excited to try and see what we can do with the a lot of players that we have here, and like I said, make one or two signings. Brereton Diaz is going to be a superstar for us, and I'm very excited to get this career mode underway. As for our formation, we're going with the 4-2-3-1 formation with wing-backs, not full-backs, as well as the natural winger. So if the winger is a left-footed player, he's going to play on the left. It makes crossing easier and supplying Brereton Diaz with the necessary crosses he needs to score goals. That is what I'm trying to do. That is the aim of the game. Also, to play this formation is going to be a bit rigorous on the boys, so they're going to have to try and impress me in pre-season. Of course, nobody's place is guaranteed. Whether you're Brereton Diaz or whether you're Frederick White from the youth setup, I am looking at this preseason for boys to impress me, for the boys to maybe make a name for themselves. We didn't get off to the best start in preseason, losing our first game 2-1 and drawing our second, but the second game showed a bit more fight, a bit more drive from the lads themselves, and we did end up drawing our final preseason game that would eventually knock us out of the preseason tournament. So it wasn't great, and as you can see here, I am just letting go those few signings, or loanees I should say, and bringing back Carter, because he's going to be a big time player for us. After a very mediocre preseason, I decided to spice things up a little bit in the transfer market by going in for our first signing of the career mode, Harrison Reed of Fulham, formerly of Southampton of course. I think he would just be a great player for the team, a great addition to the team I should say, and a really great partner for Lewis Travis to have in midfield. So I was quite happy to pay the money. Of course, we don't have a lot of money. We're a championship team. We've been in the championship for the last 10 years. So the funds are not really there. They've kind of dried up over the last 10 years of trying to get out of the championship. I mean, it's one of the hardest leagues in the world. And in order for us to try and get out of the championship and achieve our ultimate goal, really, of getting to the Premier League, we're needing to sign quality players, and that starts with Harrison Reed. Of course, we have had a few bids that we've had to reject for some of our players. Brereton Diaz, of course, one of them. One or two of our starters were tempted away by moves, but I said, no, guys, we have a big task ahead of us, and I need you guys here. So that is what's happened. We've got more or less the team that we started with. We've added Harrison Reed, and I'm very excited for the season to get underway. We kick off our season at Ewood Park against Swansea City, a tough opponent, but nonetheless, I think the boys have what it takes to beat them. Harrison Reed, of course, he starts straight in the starting lineup. I needed a bit more bite in midfield, and he did offer that. in the training sessions, and I loved everything I saw from him. And just he was phenomenal. He's elevated the team, the midfield, of course, and we are just on another level when he plays. So we kick off our season, and hopefully it's one to remember. Hopefully it's one that ends in promotion. But you know what? It is one that starts off with a damn near Brereton Diaz goal. Great header, just getting the keeper off his line, and just an up and over the goalkeeper, really. I was very impressed with him. His movement off the ball was superb in this game. Always looking for the diagonal passes. He is a very fast player, and of course he is somewhat a tier above the rest of the championship. So we do have a big advantage up front for us, and that is the likes of Brereton Diaz. Of course, we did see the debut of Frederick White come on late in the game just to see things off as we would run out 2-0 winners. I was very impressed with the young man himself. Smodix was sensational off the bench as well. So big things to think about going forward. Our next game would be against Preston North End in the EFL Cup. We would run out 3-1 winners. We made many changes to the team, but I was very impressed with the players that did play. Moving along to a very sad moment against Millwall, our third game of the season. Bradley Dack injured and then gets sent off for a really juvenile tackle, some might say. Just reckless. But to say the least, Harrison Reed absolutely smashing it home in the second half just before the hour mark. That was an absolute blinder and a half, might I add. As you can see here behind the goal, he just takes it in stride, blazes it past the goalkeeper. We would then run out 2-0 winners against Millwall, with Ryan Hedges scoring the second goal. Our next game number 4 on the season, is against Watford. I decided to start Frederick White, just wanted to see how he would go with his first professional start. And from the get-go, he was really good. And we were kind of peachy. We were 2-1 up with 20 minutes to go, and this is where the game changed. Watford striker Manja, formerly of Barcelona, showing his quality and skill to roll it past the goalkeeper to make it 2-2. I was kind of disheartened because I thought the boys could have just held on a bit more defensively. But nevertheless, Smodix from Peterborough, well, of course we bought him from Peterborough, absolute sensation. He's come in for Bradley Dack, who's obviously suspended and injured, and Damo secured himself a hat-trick, our first hat-trick in the save, and he was absolutely phenomenal. He might secure himself more game time going forward. Yet again, he continues his scoring. Brilliant goal by Smodix against West Bromwich Albion, who were a tough team essentially, and we ended up winning 2-1 on the day. Fantastic turn of events, fantastic form to take forward. Unfortunately, that form would end against Exeter City in the EFL Cup, where we would get knocked out 3-2. Moving along though, we faced Middlesbrough, who are in great form to start the season off with. They're in third, we're in second, I think, and just we needed to not have any issues here. And it started off great, 1-1, and then Britain with an absolutely filthy finish. Literally the top bins that you can possibly go without missing. And the goalkeeper stood no chance. I was absolutely elated. But Akpom equalised with a few minutes to go, and then Sparrow scored the winner, giving us our first loss on the season. With the loss to Exeter as well as the loss to Middlesbrough, it made me think that I needed a bit more in the team, maybe a bit more in the midfield and along the wing. So we decided to go after Harry Winks, who I was surprised when Tottenham were like, yeah, sure, you can loan him with an option to buy. I was really surprised that they agreed to that, as well as Somerville from Leeds United. We did end up signing both of them, great additions to the team. I was very happy with them. And I think that kind of sums up our transfer business for the rest of the window. Very happy with the team. Brought in a few new faces, but faces that add a lot of quality to what we already have. The ecosystem that we're building is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And there we have it. The transfer window therefore closes. And with those new signings, we will be going into a big game against Luton Town. Of course, it's just after the transfer window. So the teams aren't really that far separated. Luton have done fairly well to start their season off with. And in the dying moments of the damn game, we concede a very late goal to make it 2-1 to Luton. Lost for words. The new signings, they didn't do too badly in this game. Winks wasn't bad. Somerville didn't really play. But it was so demoralising conceding a late goal. We went on to play Hull City, where we won 2-1. Not too bad, the win, but that Luton game does make me sad. We also went on to play Barnsley, ended up with a 2-0 win there. And we went on to play Cardiff, where we ended up with a 3-1 win. So kind of a 2-0 scoreline here. And then Huddersfield United, we ended up drawing with them 2-2. So fixtures-wise, not too shabby. The boys are coming right in terms of how we want to play. Moving on from our draw against Huddersfield, you can see there we are doing fairly well. Top end of the table, that's where you want to be. We're fighting for promotion, of course. And we are also the top scoring team so far in the championship with 22 goals so far. Our strikers, our wingers, our midfielders have been providing for us a lot. And unfortunately, Harrison Reed just coming on as a sub, smashing it perfectly. And I thought it was in, but it ended up not being in. But late moments here, late bit of drama. Gallagher picks up the ball as it ricochets off the goalkeeper into his path where he finds the back of the net to help us beat damn near Blackpool 1-0. We went on to play Coventry, where we would end up winning the game 2-1. We would move on to a very big game against QPR, where, surprisingly enough, I was very impressed with Gallagher. He was absolutely phenomenal. But a man who came off the bench to score a screamer was this man right here, Brereton Diaz, the Chilean. Of course, he's kind of disappointed me, I'm not going to lie, but we'll get there eventually. I think we're kind of just settling in and seeing how the boys do. We would end up winning 3-0 on the day, and I was quite happy with the results. Moving on, though, to Reading. Fantastic header from that man there. In this game, he impressed me. His movement again was quite, fantastic, some might say. Hitting the bar, Reading on the other end of things, and of course, I don't understand this. Daniel Ayala gives away a penalty, but is it really a penalty if the man got off his shots? It's not my fault that he missed, but yeah, we gave away a penalty, and they still hit the bar. Luckily enough, they hit the bar there. I was very, very glad with that, as Reading were quite tough. They were very tough, in fact, but we just had a little bit extra in it for us, and right there is Somerville's first goal for the club, and it's probably going to go down as goal of the season. Please, if you can, in the comment section down below, comment on what your favorite goal of the first half of this Season 1 career mode has been. I do think it was that one. Just the shape and the bend and everything to go with it was fantastic. We would then go on to play Derby, who was sitting rock bottom of the table. We would run out 2-1 winners. Moving along, though, back at Ewood Park, a very big game against Burnley. Of course, Burnley relegated from the Premier League last season, and you could see they had quality in their team. I mean, damn near Ashley Barnes was a pain in my side. He scored their opening 2 goals, and I was like, we're going to get done over here by Vincent Kompany and the boys. But just before half-time struck, we had a screamer, and this time it was from damn near Harry Winks. I was very impressed with him in this game. He's rattled off 2 goals, fantastic goals. One in the first half, as you can see right here, and he did smash one home in the second half. And I was very impressed with his performance nonetheless, but we would unfortunately draw the game 3-3. A fantastic offensive outlay from the boys. Absolutely couldn't have asked for more, besides better defending. But yeah, we would run out a 3-3 draw with our mighty foes Burnley. But yeah, moving along though. Sheffield United, big game, first versus third in the league. As you can see there, Blackburn Rovers first, Sheffield United third. Not looking good for Hull City, I must say. Rock bottom. And again, Brereton Diaz, he impressed. At this point in the season, I was very impressed with him. Because at some point I was like, maybe he isn't that for me. You know, Gallagher could be the guy, but Brereton Diaz definitely solidifying his spot in the team. And right there is Frederick White's first pro goal. As you can see, the fans, the lads, they were just so happy for him, and so was I, to be honest. We would then move on to Bristol City, where they would beat us 2-0, which is a bit of a slap in the face if you ask me. We would then go on to play Peterborough, where we would win 1-0 shaky, very shaky, Dolan with the goal. This would probably be one of our biggest games of the season, away at Stoke, and Blackburn Rovers do it on a cold, rainy Wednesday at Stoke City. Well, it remains to be seen. We've gone with a very strong team. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Stoke absolutely destroyed us. I could not believe what I was seeing. Brown was sensational. Absolutely tore us apart up front. The midfield that Stoke had in place ran ours rugged. We got a goal back. It was 1-1, and then all of a sudden it was 4-1. And I was screaming at the players like, "What are you guys doing?" Couldn't believe what I was seeing. Our biggest loss of the season came against Stoke. But moving on to Preston. Preston, of course, are my bogey team in FIFA. But not today, Preston. Not today, Preston Northern. You will eat this L, and I will enjoy you eating the L. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But Brereton Diaz opens scoring for us. And yeah, just fantastic things all ends up. A bit of movement in the box, things you love to see. And bang, 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 he gets a tap in. Brilliant stuff. Preston, they always seem to come back against us. We ended up winning 3-2 against them. But yeah, it was still a win nonetheless. And moving on to a very big game, which was against Norwich City. Schmodek's coming up huge. Of course, he's been an absolute baller for us this season. Fantastic things have come from him. And that's why Bradley Dack has been kept out of the team, because of him. Now, Norwich did score a goal through the likes of Timo Pukki, of course, who else? But then again, Frederick White with a massive goal to make it 3-1 and kind of seal the win for us before Norwich went on to score their second on the day. But it was a bit too late. We had already won the game at that point. Very happy with the final result there. The 3 points is all that matters as we crawl closer to the January window, where I don't actually know if we will be making any signings. But I do have 1 or 2 players that I might want to keep for next season's transfer window anyway. I did get a notification though that there were a few players' contracts that were going to expire. Kaminsky being such a vital part of our team, I had to extend him for a further year, but that was probably going to be all the business I would do. We then went on to draw 1-1 with Birmingham City, a tough result because I thought the boys could have done a bit more. And then, of course, Hull City not having the best time in the championship. We ended up beating them 3-1 on the day. And then Barnsley, we would end up beating 3-1 yet again. And now it is time to end the video. Of course, this is the first half of the Blackburn Rovers career mode. If you have liked it, hit the like button down below. Of course, these are the stats that you are seeing right now up on the screen. Simodix was brilliant to start off his career with us, as well as Brereton Diaz, who kind of started off slow but ended off quite well.